We're back here with the Home and Away podcast. A little bit out of the comfort zone. Used to asking people questions over Zoom and stuff. A lot less anxiety-inducing maybe. But it's cool because I got my boy here, so it's gonna be a nice chill pod. Caleb was busy this weekend, so figured it would be a good time to have a teammate on and just talk to him, chat with him. So our special guest today is a Portland legend, a former Fighting Duck, a former New Mexico Lobo,
Sure.
A man of many talents, Mr. Anthony Mathis. Anthony, how you doing today, man?
Good, brother. Appreciate you for having me. Looking forward to have some good conversation.
So, I think where we should start is the fact that me and you probably played each other in high school, but we don't remember it.
For sure. That's so long ago. I mean, all the AAU games just kind of meshed together.
Yeah,
For sure.
I just remember because I remember playing against Peyton.
Yeah.
And
we've been on the same AAU team since we were 5, 6 years old.
Yeah, because right whenever I said team fast, you were like, that's my team.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that it was full circle.
We've already played together since we were probably 7 years old. And so every tournament he was in, I was in as well. So it's a small world, bro. It just shows how small basketball world is.
Hella small world. Now we're here in Targu Romania. Probably where neither one of us ever thought we would be.
Ever.
But man, how's your who first got you into hoops and stuff?
I was in basketball since I was probably 3 years old, but I mean, just messing around, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Peyton's dad actually is the one that really, really got me into like committing and working super hard. So I moved in with them when I was in 7th grade, and that's when everything really kind of just took off. So I was getting in the gym a lot with Peyton, and his dad just spent countless hours in the gym with both of us, just working on our game. Whether that was getting shots up before school or whatever, so that's when it really picked up.
For those watching that don't know who Peyton is that we're referring to, it's Peyton Pritchard from now playing for the Boston Celtics, but formerly at Oregon. So, so you guys grew up, through middle school, high school, everything together.
Yeah.
I thought it was an interesting story that you shared with me, but I don't know if you want to share it or not.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can edit it out if you don't want to share.
Yeah.
But like the fact that they were like that willing to like open their doors to you and everything. Sure. If you want to speak on that,
my mom decided to move to Wyoming when I was in 7th grade. I kind of had the choice whether to stay in Oregon with the Pritchards or go to Wyoming. You know what I mean? Obviously, my dream was to play Division I basketball, and going to Wyoming probably wasn't the best place to get recruited and whatnot. So the Pritchards opened their doors and gave me my own room. Treating me like one of their own, and actually had to sign some documents and paperwork to become my legal guardian. So they adopted me, which was not for any family issues, just to make it a lot more simple.
I mean, it's like, a lot of respect to your mom too. Like she was like, tough. She probably realized obviously she didn't want to be away from you.
Yeah, tough decision for her.
But like she realized probably it's best for your basketball career and stuff, and like your mental probably you probably had hella friends and stuff.
Yeah. She definitely sacrificed a lot for me for sure. Obviously she knew I wanted to play college basketball, and like I said before, going to Wyoming, Gillette, Wyoming, like not a lot of college coaches are going to come there. I wouldn't know if I'd be able to play with Fast anymore. So just a lot of unknown stuff. Credit to her.
I don't know any AAU programs from Wyoming,
exactly.
Bro.
I mean, you could do like the neighboring states. So
yeah, that is true.
But I just wanted to stay with Fast. I knew my role. I knew, AAU days. Those are like your brothers. You know what I mean? Going on hotels and stuff. So
like y'all are just wilding in the hotel and stuff. Like I used to stay in the team room a lot. Like my parents didn't go.
Yeah.
And we would just be like. Bro, we used to freestyle and shit. Like, we used to put on a beat loud as hell, and then like we always get the lobby called on us and shit.
Staying up way too late on the computer doing dumb stuff. What was the one? Omegle.
Oh, bro. You could get a lot of people in trouble if you went back on their Omegle history, bro.
Good times.
Yo, Omegle, I have not heard of that in a minute. But. When was obviously you said you wanted to be play college basketball and stuff, at what age, about what age did you realize man, I could really make it to a Division I or something like that?
So when was my first offer? I got my first offer my sophomore year from Oregon State. And then I started getting more and more Portland, just Oregon schools. It's actually funny, out of high school, Oregon never offered me. So it was just Oregon State. So I kind of had that grudge towards Oregon my whole life growing up. I was always so mad that they never offered me until I was a grad transfer. I'd say my sophomore year, that's when, Division I was really like a possibility.
And did you like have obviously like a lot of kids want to be professional athletes. Like,
Yeah.
Did you have that dream when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously the NBA was
The ultimate goal.
Yeah, the ultimate goal. But everybody has different routes. So I'm enjoying where I'm at right now for sure.
Yeah, I always tell everybody like when I was younger, like my first, like I don't know if I ever told you this yet, but like my first like love, like sport that I love was like baseball for sure. Like I love baseball, like, but I wasn't like the greatest,
Yeah.
Like I was the best on my team probably when I was a kid. But, well, I probably wasn't the best on my team now that I think about it. Like Justin Stewart, shout out my boy Justin. Justin was him whenever we were like little kids, and he was the best. Him. And then whenever I went to like travel ball, like my boy Grant Gepper was really good too, and like some other guys on that team. Yeah. And then they left and kind of did their own thing, and then I started realizing like, man, I'm not like I'm probably not gonna have a huge future in it or whatever.
I mean, at least you realize it early. Yeah, that's the biggest part.
Yeah, but I still played until I was in 8th or whatever. But then like AAU, you know how it is. In the summer, you can't really play baseball and travel around the damn country. Exactly. So I had to give it up.
I was actually, before I started taking basketball super serious, I skateboarded. Like,
you've told me that, bro, and I still don't believe you.
A lot, I swear. I have videos.
You can kickflip and all that shit?
I can tray flip, everything. But my, so Peyton's mom would come and pick me up for practice and stuff. And obviously I didn't have a cell phone. I was in like 5th grade or whatever. And I was just missing. I was at the skate park and they flipped out on me the next day at practice because I was missing practice. We were going to a big tournament and actually sprained my ankle and wasn't able to play. So they were like, either you're done playing with us or you're done skateboarding. And I was like, I'm done with skateboarding. So
damn, that's tough though. Because you probably mess with skateboarding.
Yeah, like if I'm like out in public and somebody has a skateboard, I'm like, hey, let me see that real quick. Mess around a little bit. But
what's like the toughest trick like you can land on a skateboard?
Right now, I can still do a tray flip right now.
For real?
I swear. Yeah.
That's tough though, bro. I can't even. Yeah. I'm always really impressed by people who can skateboard because I can't even like get on one and ride it.
Yeah. I mean, I did it since I was 3rd to about 7th grade. Yeah, so 4 years. I was just outside all day skating.
Like at the park and everything, or just all around wherever?
Parks. We used to take the public transportation to get to skate parks around Portland and stuff.
Were you doing like shithead skater activities?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like egging cars. Yeah, just stupid stuff.
Stupid stuff whenever you're a young kid, huh?
Yeah.
But what other offers did you have besides? Well, you said Oregon State, Portland, like New Mexico. Like how was your recruiting process?
Out of high school or grad transfer?
Out of high school, because I know you ended up at New Mexico, but like what was that recruiting process like? Because I mean, you stayed on the West Coast kind of, but like was it mostly only West Coast teams?
I mean, I was honestly out of high school. I wasn't too heavily recruited. I mean, I had Portland, Oregon State, Minnesota, UNLV, Pacific. I had a lot of the Western Conference teams. Who else? Yeah, not too much, honestly. Like that's St. Mary's. St. Mary's was another big one.
St. Mary's is nice.
Yeah.
Did you visit there?
No, I did not.
Where'd you visit at?
I didn't take. I take visits to Portland and Oregon State.
That was it. You didn't even visit New Mexico?
Mm-mm. Oh, I mean, yeah. Okay.
Oh, I was about to say.
I was talking about. I meant like school.
If you would have committed there, no visit, that would have been just raw dogged it.
I visited twice, and then I committed when I was there, and
you liked it the best.
Yeah, I love playing in crazy atmospheres, and when I was there, the game was insane.
Game was lit, huh?
Lit.
There in Albuquerque, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, what was that community like and that experience there?
They're super, super warming. I mean, like, going there was kind of a culture shock because it's a little different from where I'm from. But the people there are amazing. I mean, the local fans still interacting to this day on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. And I obviously still go back there and play in the TBT with them. So, I mean, they're super tight-knit fan base, and it was amazing to be a part of that for sure at the pit, for sure.
And you still haven't got that ball roll, huh? All the way up the pit?
Nah, it's probably...
Have you ever seen anybody actually get it?
In person, no.
In person, you've never seen anybody get it? Because I always see a video every year of someone getting it.
And we would try,
but really only like one video maybe like every year.
We would try it. I mean, not every game. I mean, I probably tried it 20 times while I was there. Never saw anybody do it in person ever.
I would have for sure been trying it. Like I feel like after shoot around a lot.
Yeah.
There's probably guys who tried it a lot, huh?
Yeah, like a lot of guys. I mean, you have to get a perfect throw. There's curtains in the way sometimes. Like you have to have a perfect throw.
I think I can get it. But So you did 4 years there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you still had one year of eligibility. Did you get injured one year?
So I didn't even get injured. My freshman and my sophomore year, I had a coach named Craig Neal. We had some problems, whatnot. My sophomore year, I only played like in 6 games. So I was right underneath the cutoff, because if you play in like 7 games, that means like you played the season.
So you were able to redshirt or whatever?
So I was able to redshirt that year. I got a bunch of letters from people saying like our relationship wasn't where it was supposed to be. So the NCAA granted me a grad year, which was amazing. And then I used that grad year and I went to Oregon.
So when Oregon like hits you up after this, after you like you already said you felt kind of slighted.
Yeah.
So when Oregon hits you up, like want you to come play for them now, like at first did you feel some type of way? Because for sure, like for me, I would have felt some type of way. I'm a little bit petty.
Absolutely, but like I mean, the Pritchards, Peyton, we'd all been talking before. Like I even got that year back. Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, I might be getting another year, but like this and that. And then obviously that was the first thing that came to everybody's heads, like, oh, you want to come back to Oregon? And I was always like, ah.
So did you play with Peyton or no though?
Where?
At Oregon.
Yeah.
He's a year younger than you then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off because I was kind of confused.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, this and that, like, I don't know. But obviously I just had to put my pride aside, and that was what I wanted to do. I would go back to my family, be with Peyton. All our friends, you know, growing up, we're at Oregon or Oregon State, so it was going to be a lot of fun. And obviously...
it's kind of like a dream come true for like an Oregon kid to like go play at the University of Oregon.
And we were really good. We were top 5 all year, top 10 all year, so it was a fun year.
And then you didn't get to go to the tourney, huh, because of COVID?
It wasn't meant to be.
How did that feel?
Terrible. I mean...
Because I was overseas, so it was like...
Yeah.
All right, whatever, our season's over early, like I'm going to just go back to the crib, like it's my rookie year.
Yeah.
So like it really wasn't that bad, big of a deal. But like I feel like if it was me and it was my senior year of college and they're like... Especially like in the situation you are in, like about to start all the like conference tournament. I think is whenever it got canceled, right before the conference tournament started.
We were the day of us playing our first game,
and they just got canceled.
Yeah, I mean it was unfortunate. I mean we were all in Vegas hanging out, getting ready. We were at film, and they were like, yeah, they just canceled our tournament, and we're like, dang. So now what? Like, since we won the regular season, they're like, yeah, we're gonna crown you guys champions of the Pac-12 tournament. So we had to go to the arena. Mm-hmm. We had to get our trophy and take pictures like we won it, but we didn't even play in a game. And then we kind of figured like, yeah, that was going to be the March Madness. They were going to cancel that as well. And then we were just in Vegas like, damn, we're like, what are we supposed to do now? Like our season's just over. And
the thing that was weird about it, I think though, is that like, even though they canceled like this conference tournament, I'm sure there was like some hope in you guys still like, oh, maybe the NCAA tournament. Because I remember thinking like, oh, this might be over in a couple weeks type shit.
Yeah.
Like,
we thought it was going to be a week or so. We thought we were still going to be playing in the March Madness, but once they said it was done, we were like, oh man, so that was our last game. Like, but no, we went out and enjoyed Vegas while we could as a team.
Everything was still open?
Yeah. Vegas was, it was still open.
That's kind of lit though.
Yeah, it was fun.
At least your tournament's there. Is it every year? Is the Pac-12 every year in Vegas?
Year, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Isn't also another conference? Mountain West, yeah. Mountain West is also in Vegas.
Yeah.
Damn, that's kind of like
so
popping for
Pac-12
March Madness.
plays at T-Mobile and the Mountain West plays at UNLV.
And were you in the? You weren't in the Mountain West, were you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you were?
Yeah.
So all your conference tournaments were in Vegas?
Yeah. So like if we'd lose, I'd go watch Peyton's Pac-12.
That's tough though.
Yeah, it was fun. You
spent a lot of time in Vegas, huh?
Oh man, yeah. But
What's your favorite casino game?
Blackjack for sure. For sure, blackjack.
Top 3. What's your top 3?
Blackjack, baccarat, and probably craps.
I've never been able to play like baccarat or craps. Right. I've never been taught. Like I've never known how to play.
It's pretty simple. I mean,
I've seen a lot of people make some bread off baccarat though.
Yeah. I mean, I've never played like any crazy amount of hands. Like I'll play with like $100, $200 every now and then, but you usually leave really disappointed.
The casino you shoot.
That ride back home is
that ride back home is so tough.
You're going there like, oh, I'm about to win a couple grand, come back empty-handed.
Because you always go in there with high hopes.
Always, you gotta go in there.
You always feel like you got a upper hand on the casino.
Always.
I think my favorite games are probably Blackjack 1 is my favorite for sure, and then I would say 2 is probably roulette. But I only play the outsides.
I do like roulette.
And then I would say 3 is 3-card poker. I actually like.
Oh, I like 3-card poker too. I only played it once.
It's pretty fun. I only play it with my dad really. Yeah. Like my dad likes it, so I usually.
You can either win a lot really quick or lose a lot really quick. Mm-hmm. I like that game.
Especially if you do like the side I don't know. There's a lot of stuff to bet on there. You know.
I forgot about that one.
But how was what do you think was like your best moment, like your favorite moment in college? Would you say? Like
game wise or just
game wise?
Game wise would probably be there's a couple. Either when I was at New Mexico, we beat Nevada, who had the Martin twins, and they were like top 5 in the country. They came to the pit, we beat them by 30. That was a great game. I had a really good game. Yeah, I had a really good game. National television. They were undefeated, so it was really fun. That was probably one of the craziest games I've ever played in the pit. And then
at Oregon.
At Oregon, when we went to Michigan, we were top 10. They were like top 5. We beat them in overtime. I hit a shot at the end of regulation when it's like a deep 3 to win the game, but they counted it off because it was on my hands.
Oh shit.
The end. So one of those 2 games for sure.
Were you sick when they called it out?
I was sick. We were all celebrating. We were
going
crazy on the court. I'm freaking out. I'm talking about talk, and they're like, "No good," and we're like, "Damn, we gotta go to overtime now." But we got it done. So.
How different was that schedule at like Oregon compared to New Mexico?
Way different.
Because like in Oregon, you're probably playing like as many top 25s as y'all can in like the preseason or like the non-conference schedule.
Yeah. I mean, so I would say the only thing that's really different, obviously at Oregon, our schedule was insane. We had Battle for Atlantis and Bahamas. We played our first game, Seton Hall ranked. Second game was North Carolina with Cole Anthony ranked. Our second game was Gonzaga. Then our third game was North Carolina. So those 3 in a row were just insane. Yeah. And then, the difference I'd say is that in Oregon, like you're in those games expecting to win those games. You know what I mean? And if at New Mexico we're playing top 25 teams, it's like, okay, let's try to make this close. Let's try to make this.
More of like a upset type deal.
Exactly. It's like we're trying to upset.
Were y'all close to making the tourney at New Mexico though? Like
we lost in the conference championship my junior year.
Oh really?
Yeah, to San Diego State. So if we would have won that, we would have been in. But
SDSU's had some good teams over the years.
Oh yeah, they were really good. They were really good for sure.
Were they the ones usually winning that when you were
there? San Diego State, Utah State.
Oh, yeah, Utah State had a couple good years recently, huh?
Yeah, those 3. Yeah.
They had this Portuguese big that like when I was playing in Portugal. When I was playing in Portugal, everybody was hyping. It was like Mathis Keita or something like that.
Keita, yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his name. He plays for the Stockton Kings, I think now. Yeah. Big mug.
Yeah, he's big. I played him. It was him, Sam Merrill, who plays for the Canton Charge right now.
Oh, Sam Merrill. I've heard that name too. Yeah.
So we used to go back and forth all year.
He's kind of a shooter too, right?
Yeah, he's good.
What do you consider yourself, a shooter or a scorer?
I would say in college I was for sure a shooter. I think I've transformed my game a little bit more to be more of a scorer. I mean, I still play off my shooting, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've gotten a little better in different.
I think your jump shot's like your biggest weapon, but I would say you're more of a. Like I wouldn't like pick. I wouldn't.
Just say I'm strictly a shooter.
I wouldn't paint you as like strictly a shooter.
Exactly. Which in college I 100% was.
Like you was more of a spot up guy.
Spot up shooter.
Because I've never seen I mean I've seen you play in college. I'm sure I've watched like an Oregon game.
Yeah.
Like whenever you were there, like definitely because I watched a shit ton of college basketball.
Yeah.
But like I don't remember you. No offense.
Yeah. No. Yeah. But like no, I was definitely a spot up shooter. But now just being in the gym in the summers, tried to become a little more versatile in scoring.
So when you graduate from Oregon with your master's degree and everything, and you decide to like take the professional route, like what did that look like for you? Like were you having a bunch of agents hit you up? Like did you already kind of know who you were going to go with before the season ended?
Yeah.
Or
well, I kind of knew who I was going to go with already. Neil Rosenheim, who's my agent right now. I kind of knew what I was going to do. And then he started getting me on Zooms with a bunch of NBA teams because the year I came out, obviously the COVID stuff happened. So we weren't doing NBA workouts. We were doing Zoom meetings.
That's a tough year to come out to.
Tough year. It was a tough year. No workals, no summer league, no nothing.
You can't even get in front of the
exactly. You can't even get in front of them. You can't meet them. Yeah. So I was really looking forward to doing those workouts, and then we're just doing everything over Zoom. Probably like 1 or 2 during the weekends or whatnot. You know what I mean? So.
That's crazy though. They couldn't do like. Were they like even asking like? I don't know, bro.
They were just talking about.
A stupid question.
It was not a lot. It wasn't about basketball stuff. It was all about your personality wise. I was like, what do you see yourself doing this next year? Like, would you be okay being in the G League? I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I'll take any route I need to take, just to get that opportunity to be in front of NBA coaches and stuff.
And it just, man, that sucks though because like as a competitor and stuff too, you're like, for sure thinking to yourself like, oh, put me in a workout with some other guys and like. Yeah. Let me show that I'm like, you know what I mean? Let me show that I'm better than these guys.
Yeah. And everybody coming out of college always gets that opportunity. And that's always like, obviously I want to be like, what if I got that? But it is what it is. Always works.
God's plan, man.
Exactly.
God's plan for sure. But so you ended up getting a G League opportunity. And so your first year, did you go to training camp with the NBA squad?
No, my first year I didn't. I mean, we had a mini camp in San Antonio before we went to the bubble. So I was in San Antonio for a week and a half with all those guys, and then we went to the G League bubble, and we were there for a month and a half, 2 months.
And how was the bubble experience there for the G?
It was long. It felt like we were there for.
How long were you there? 2
We
weeks?
were only there for 2 months, but I mean, we were playing so many games. Like that, we played.
And there was literally nothing else to do besides hoop.
Nothing. I mean, there was a pond you could fish in. There was.
Were you fishing?
I fished one time. Caught nothing, so we were like.
Some dudes were probably fishing.
Oh yeah. I mean, I played a lot of Call of Duty. We would go to the pool and hang out with everybody. I mean, we'd have wine nights with just all the teammates, hang out in the room and drink wine and stuff. But you couldn't have anybody in your own room. Like, so we were always in the team room. We had a team room, so everybody just hang out in there. We watched the Super Bowl one year, did some other stuff. Okay, and yeah, it was just boring.
Just in the bubble.
A lot of Netflix, a lot of Netflix,
a lot of video games. That honestly sounds like overseas for.
Yeah. It's very similar. Very similar.
A lot of video games, a lot of freaking shows, bro.
Exactly.
So talk a little bit about just like your overall, not just the bubble experience, but like you spent 3 years in the G League, right? Or actually, you went to Greece first, though, huh?
Yeah.
So you went to Greece first things first, right out of college, right?
Yeah, and then went back to the bubble.
So how was that first experience overseas?
It was okay. I mean, me and the coach weren't too cool. Like I was only there for 7 games, but it was a great experience just to see that, playing against Olympiacos, all those teams, Ike, some really really high level Europe teams. So just seeing that was really cool, and I think I learned a lot about the overseas life while I was there. But I was in a tiny city in Greece.
And everything was probably still in lockdown because Europe was super strict.
Like you needed to text a government number and get a confirmation back for you to even leave your apartment. Like you had 4 options. 1 was grocery store, 2 was go on a walk with your dog, 3 was hospital, and 4 was like take the trash out or something. And if you didn't have a text back and you got pulled over by the cops, you got a fine. Yeah,
that was how it was it's like Portugal. It was like you didn't have text, but I was in Portugal that year, and I remember every single restaurant was closed, every single bar was closed.
Yeah.
They you could order like Uber Eats, but like or Uber Eats or Glovo was like the only thing you could order. Like you order like for them to deliver to your crib, but bro, like that year sucked because the beaches, like there was beaches nearby, and like the beaches were even like blocked off. Like you couldn't go to the beach. You couldn't like there's like port wine. Have you ever heard of that before? Like it's like a type of wine. It's like in Porto, which is like where I was at, and like they have a big like where they make the wine and everything, and like where they store it, and you can go on tour usually. And I was like, oh, it'd be a cool place to go on tour, but
for sure,
I'm literally just stuck in the crib all day.
So
it's just straight from the crib to the gym and then back to the crib.
Gym, apartment, maybe go eat like at the restaurant we get food at. That was about it. We go 3 places, but I wanted to do a lot of exploring, but it was unfortunate.
Yeah, it's tough. But then you came back to the bubble and stuff and made that decision to go to the G. Yeah. And then you played 2 more seasons after that, right?
1.
1 more?
So after the bubble,
I thought you played 2 more seasons
after the
in
bubble.
G.
No, after the bubble, the next year I went back to Austin, played with the Spurs, and then I got traded halfway through.
Okay. I just knew you played for Texas to Dallas.
Yeah. So halfway through, I got traded to Dallas and finished it out with them.
And so how was those experiences on like a full season in the G like?
It was good. So I went back to Austin. I didn't have the same head coach, so it was a little different. My role and my time was a little different. But then I went to Dallas and I really liked it a lot. I was playing with Justin Jackson, who was at North Carolina. I really liked that team. Super, super, super good dudes. The coaching staff, they were all amazing. The GM really liked me, so we got along well. What
was it like to get traded? Because like that doesn't happen really overseas.
It was super weird, bro. Like, so I went to practice on a Monday. Monday night, my agent called and he was like, "Yeah, you might be getting traded." And I'm like, "Where?" Because in the G League, there's some crazy cities. Canton.
Imagine you get traded to Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls.
You would have been sick.
And I'm like, please, God, don't let me go to some weird, like, Des Moines, Iowa, or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, we're still trying to figure it out." So 9 a.m. comes around. He's like, "You're just going 2 hours down the road to Dallas." I'm like, "Oh, thank God."
You're like, shit, Dallas, I can make that work.
Exactly. So packed all my stuff up, and within like 3 hours, I had a friend. She drove me down from Austin to Dallas. And so it was super easy.
Yeah, that's light, honestly.
Because I just imagine like I had to take all my stuff on an airplane, get on a flight, and then I just had to get all new stuff really. But I was just able to take all the bedding and stuff to Dallas.
Bro, that would have been so ass.
Yeah, it would have been.
Because I've heard stories about like NBA dudes, which is like they got a little different budget to work with, And like they get traded, they just like, oh, let me pack one suitcase, go and have somebody ship the rest out.
Yeah.
Like for sure that like I mean I'm sure it's stressful, but it's definitely like a different vibe.
But imagine if you're in the city, you have a house, you have cars, you have all that you have to take care of. Like
you saw Josh Hart and Larry Nance traded houses.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
That's dope. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What was the biggest difference? Like, because now you came back over here, you started in Sweden, now you're here in Romania. Like, what's the biggest difference between overseas hoops and, like, playing in the G League?
Oh, man.
Because, I mean, not a lot of guys that play overseas really get the opportunity to play professionally in the States.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would say the G League's a lot of one-on-one, a lot of pick and roll, not a lot of defense, you know what I mean? It's more individual stuff. Whereas Europe, I think, is just like a lot more team-oriented, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like learning tactics, playing basketball the right way, making extra passes. Where I'm not saying the G League's not like that, but it's a lot more individual scoring, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's also a lot more high scoring, and the games are longer, rules are different.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to score because throwing the key. But
what about as far as like not just the basketball stuff, like as far as like life and like living, like I mean, obviously I've spoken on the differences I think of like living in a foreign country as opposed to the U.S. But like how was that like? I mean, because you said they still give you housing.
Oh yeah, they take care of you in the G League. They definitely take care of you. You get your own apartment.
Yeah.
They give you Uber credits, so you can go wherever you want. They take care of you. Like the apartment I had in Austin was super nice, like really nice. So it's pretty similar to overseas, but obviously you're back in the States. You can have family come and visit you.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, really.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy being overseas. Like I really do. Like, I wouldn't be doing anything different if I was in the States. The only thing that I don't really like is that I can't have family come visit me that easily. The tickets are thousands of dollars, whereas if you're in the States, they're a couple hundred maybe.
Yeah, that's like I don't mind being overseas and stuff, but like, bro, it's tough. Like not seeing your family or friends for like 8 months straight.
Yeah, I think the worst is the holidays. That's when I really
start. The holidays, yeah.
Christmas, Thanksgiving, like I'm just like, dang.
Yeah, Riley came over this year for Christmas. It was our first. It was our first Christmas we spent together, and we've been together for 4 years.
That's dope.
Which is crazy.
Obviously, one day, hopefully, I find a girlfriend sometime soon. Being overseas with a girlfriend would be so much easier.
I think it would too. Like just to have somebody.
Yeah.
Or even like if you have a girlfriend, a wife, or like.
Yeah. I've thought about having my little brother come, but he's been doing his thing. So the next place I go, I think I'm gonna have either my little brother come stay with me for sure.
That'd be fire.
Yeah.
It would be so tough to have your brother just chilling with you.
Yeah. Come rebound, whatever.
That would be sick, bro. Actually, I know some people who like even have like these work from home jobs or something. They can just like do their work and whatever.
Exactly.
And like people will have like, their significant other or whoever come stay with them for a hell of a long time because they can work from anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's the one thing COVID kind of did that was good. Honestly,
it made remote a lot more.
It made remote a lot more of like a thing, and like a lot of companies are realizing like, damn, we don't really got to make these people come to work every single day.
Exactly.
Out of the overseas places you've been, let's say you've been in Sweden, Uppsala, at the beginning of this year, and then you were also in Greece. Like, what's been your favorite experience between the three?
Basketball-wise or just living-wise?
Just total package, I would say, wise.
Honestly, probably here. Like my role, I like my role here. The team's super fun.
Yeah.
Our fans are amazing. So I'd probably say here, honestly, because in Greece, I wasn't playing that much, COVID, whatnot. I wasn't making that much. I was fresh out of college. Sweden was a lot of fun. I liked my role and whatnot, but the league wasn't the best league.
Yeah. Seemed like you had a lot of like good guys on that team there, though.
Oh yeah.
Just from like you and Jay both talking about it.
Great dudes.
Was it tough to like tell them to do that?
But they understood. My contract situation was kind of confusing there. So they understood when I left. They were like, "Hey."
You came late to Sweden?
I came super late. I came like a month late.
Why'd you come so late?
Just because first off I thought I wanted to do the G League again, and then my agent was like, let's think about going overseas. So I was like, all right, I'm in. Let's go overseas. And then by the time I said, yeah, I'm down to go overseas, it was probably 3 weeks. So then we started looking for jobs and whatnot, and it's, everybody already signed, so we're just waiting for guys to get cut and whatnot.
Yeah, that's tough. Let's rewind actually, because I just thought of something too that I want to mention. How shitty was that whenever you got like the 10-day? When you got this 10-day?
Yeah. So all the NBA...
COVID is a bitch.
All the G League dudes were getting called up. I think that was a record, like 100.
Yeah, it was 160 something. Yeah. I think I saw the G League post.
So all those guys were getting called up. I was playing really well, and boom, I get COVID, so I'm in my apartment for 14 days, just super sick, can't get out of bed, whatnot. And then, we start back up and I'm not playing as well anymore. So the opportunity was gone.
But like it's hard to play after the COVID, bro, because
for sure.
like I had I was even asymptomatic once, and then so, bro, I had a similar situation. So before I left my second year to go to Portugal, I went to go get a COVID test, and it comes back negative, or it comes back positive.
Yeah.
But I had like no symptoms. The only thing that happened is like the week before I had bad back spasms, and I didn't even know that was a symptom of COVID.
Oh, my back was...
Yeah. And so I had like back spasms where I couldn't even stand up, and so I was supposed to get on a flight like the day after, because you had to get the results like within 48 hours or some shit. Yeah. So I was supposed to go on a flight like the day after. I'm sitting there the morning of. Actually, I was sitting there the morning of my flight, waiting on these results to come out. I was like, bro, these results better come back, so I can get on this fucking flight at like 5 o'clock or whatever.
Yeah.
The results come back. Oh, that was mine. The results come back and it says positive, and I'm like,
oh,
you're shitting me, So then I was like, had to tell the team and stuff, and the team's like unhappy. And I'm like, I got to quarantine for 10 days and I got to take another test,
Yeah.
So I had to quarantine. And then it was like kind of to the point where it seemed like they were going to pull the contract if I didn't, like I'm saying, if I didn't come the next time like I was supposed to, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a cluster, bro.
I'm sure.
It was so bad.
I'm so happy that's all.
And then when I got there, bro, like even though I was asymptomatic, bro, my lungs were just like messed up.
Oh,
bro,
yeah,
COVID.
I couldn't get full airways of breath. Like I couldn't get a...
So I could see how that would fuck up the play.
It was crazy. Like I was laying in bed just like, oh my God, I want this thing to go away so bad. And then obviously I get back on the court, I'm out of shape, can't breathe, all congested, but...
Just to step on that NBA court too, like in a regular season game, is like every kid's...
Exactly, that was a dream.
Every kid's dream, bro.
I saw everybody in college, I'm like, oh, mine's coming. Mine's gotta be coming. Took a COVID test, boom, positive.
That's tough, bro.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Like we said, God's plan, bro.
Exactly.
You wouldn't get to meet people like me, bro, if it did happen.
Exactly, when we here... But that's another thing about going overseas. You meet so many good people. Like the relationships overseas are different for sure.
I think the relationships are a lot closer because like none of us have like.
Anybody
the majority of us, like you got like some vets that have like kids and stuff like that or whatever. That okay, they got a wife and kids, whatever maybe. But like for guys like us who are younger and stuff, like bro, y'all are really just like on the grind together, like 2 practices a day, like doing your thing, like just trying to survive, really. Like all the relationships I feel like overseas, like at least especially during those 8 months, like okay, maybe you don't like continue that relationship as much when you go home, but like during those 8 months, those are really like your best friends.
Exactly. But I still talk, like any team I've ever played with, like I've talked to all of the Americans, even some of the local guys, like I still talk to on social media and whatnot, so it's super cool. Yeah,
you're right though, that connection is definitely different
for sure.
But there's it's kind of like friends, like you have to be friends kind of too. Like it's not like you don't even really get to choose because where like okay, like we go out or something, we might meet some people, like you gonna meet somebody and be like, yo bro, like we should be friends, we should hang out.
Exactly.
Like I don't know,
like some local guys, you mean?
Yeah, it's like that's really your only opportunity to make friends for real is like that, or like if your club has like multiple sports and stuff, like and you're hanging out with maybe like you see them around the gym and stuff, because you know how it is with the gym time here and stuff like that. Speak on that. How different is the gym time?
I would say it's not as convenient being back in the States, because in the States like you can go to the gym whenever you want to get shots.
Yeah.
But like as here, it's like we have somebody practicing before us, we have somebody practicing after us. So the only real time you can get on the court and get your extra work in is at practice. I mean, it's
like maybe 10 minutes before practice if the team gets done before.
Probably not though.
If the team gets done before, and then like maybe after, if like they leave the lights on.
Exactly.
If they don't cut the lights off on us ASAP.
Exactly.
Put down the goals.
It's just different. I think a lot of teams in Europe are the same way, because Sweden, it was hard to get on the court before. Greece, it was hard to get on the court before too. So it's like it's just a lot different for sure.
Last game you went kind of crazy. How did that feel?
It was good. I feel like
we usually do recaps here, so I guess we could do a little recap.
I know. I feel like I'm finally starting to learn my role a little bit. I've only been here 7 games. I feel like I've been here for so much longer.
It does feel like you've been here a lot longer than that.
But no, I feel like I'm starting to get my role a little bit more. I finally had a good game for sure.
Man, I think the difference here, like obviously I played in Romania last year too. Mm-hmm. The difference here is just like the fans are just like the fan support is so much crazier here than anywhere I've been honestly before. Like
same.
Like fans are in my DMs, like tell me good game. Like I sprained my ankle last game, like and bro, like a bunch of fans were reaching out.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate that for
Yeah,
real,
no,
because I know some of y'all watch pod have hit me up and said you watch it, so I appreciate y'all for reaching out, asking if I'm good. Like I'm doing good. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get better.
For sure.
Take it day by day, but. No, the fan support here is crazy, and like they get lit.
Yeah, it's so.
And when the refs make a bad call, I think they'd rather break those balls down.
I think it's a lot different because they're so enthusiastic, like they truly care.
Mm-hmm.
They're going crazy, beating on drums and whatnot. So that's the best fans I've been in Europe for sure. Coming in Sweden, we really didn't have too much. We had some fans, but here it's just they get really enthusiastic for sure. Yeah, and it makes the games a lot more fun, obviously, because then you start playing harder.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
And we got a big dub on Saturday.
Big dub for sure.
Huge one.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I wouldn't have got hurt though. But it is what it is.
It's only one game.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's just one game.
It is what it is, yeah. We'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
We'll shake back. What are your thoughts, not just on like the club and the team and everything, but like on the country as a whole? Like how have you liked Romania? How has it been different? I think the biggest difference for me is like even in Romania, like up here being in Transylvania is probably the best place I've been.
Yeah.
Like in this region. So I think you got a good first impression of it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, since I've been here, I haven't really been able to explore too much, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But the people are super nice. Like everybody's super friendly here. I think the food is probably so far like the most like I'm not used to. I mean,
not used to eating that damn soup every day, right?
The soup.
Bro, the soup every day.
The soup, the one stuff, the Mama Liga or whatever.
Oh,
there's just some stuff that I don't dislike. It's just like I'm okay without eating.
We gotta get this man to try some papanash, and we gotta get him to try some.
The meat, I like the meat though.
He likes meat. We gotta get him to try some sarmale, but you haven't tried those. Those are like more Romanian, I think, though. So like, there's a lot of Hungarian food here too.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, like in Romania, I think you came to the right spot for sure, because like up here in like this Transylvania area, is like I've heard. Which I've also witnessed firsthand, because I was in Constanța last year, which is like on the coast. It's like more southern, I think, and maybe like southeastern. Yeah. And it's just like the people are not very friendly there compared to here. I mean, they're like friendly, but like they're not very polite or something, I see. Or like, you know what I mean? They're kind of like stone faced a little bit. I see. Whereas like here, people are like really like. Yeah, fairly nice and stuff. Like, bro, I would like tell like the person working the cash register, like, I would tell them, oh, thank you, or like, mulțumesc, or something like that. And sometimes they wouldn't even say like, you're welcome. Sometimes they wouldn't even shake their head. I would just be like, mulțumesc, like, they would just look at me. Yeah. I'm like, damn, at least here they're at least hitting me with like a cuplacere or something.
That's another thing. I feel like it's just a European thing. People stare a lot.
OD.
And they'll stare through your soul.
I think it's because me and you. Well, I guess not as much me, but I'm just so tall, so I'm used to getting stared at even in America.
You're tall,
but then like you, you said it.
But I mean, it makes sense.
Like you don't look European.
I get it. Yeah.
You don't look like an Eastern European.
But like I'm used to, if people stare, like okay, they're gonna stare, but once I look at them, they look away. But they are just like, stare through your soul.
Also, I think a lot of times, like if we're walking around speaking English, like people are just gonna look at us like,
which I understand.
Who the hell are these dudes? Like, because if someone came in. Like, bro, if someone came into the U.S. though, imagine you walked in and you heard like someone say like something in Romanian you'd heard before.
Yeah.
Imagine, you would definitely be looking at it.
Yeah, for sure. And I would definitely stare, but it's just not uncomfortable. It's just like I can feel people staring.
You can feel the eyes on you, bro.
Exactly.
Especially like if we go out or something, I feel like.
Yeah.
And if it's a crowded area and we go like, or we go to a restaurant or something, like people are just locked in on us. Like when we went to like have dinner and wine and stuff like a couple weeks ago, bro, when we walked in, I just felt like everybody turned and looked at us. I'm like super aware of it because I'm used to it even in the States, because I'm so big. Like, and it's just
different. Eyes, it took me a while. I still don't think I'm necessarily used to it. Yeah. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna.
I have a funny story actually. So when I was in high school, I think the worst staring I ever got, I think, was I walked into a Hooters. I don't know where. It was like after a basketball tournament or something, I don't know, some sporting event, I think. We went to Hooters afterwards. I was with my family, bro, and they had a low door. And I didn't peep it. And bro, I just slammed my head on the door walking in, like on the door frame. And so like obviously I hit my head and I'm like, oh, like I kind of bend over and hold my head, and everybody's like, damn. damn, this big mug just hit his head on the door, bro.
And probably heard it.
Yo, everybody's like the whole way to my seat like this, just literally I could see people's whole neck turning. I'm like, bro, eat your food, leave me alone.
Let me
live, please.
It's funny. I think it's just weird that you can feel when people are staring at you. I'm just like, all right, I'm kind of over this right now. But
if you could go back, would you do anything different? Would you choose a different school, or are you happy with how everything goes? People always ask me this question too.
I think about this all the time. I mean, knowing what was going to happen with COVID and stuff, like if I would have known, if I'm looking back now, I know COVID, I probably would have stayed in New Mexico just to finish it out there, be with my team again. But I mean, I went to Oregon to play in the March Madness. Like that's why I went there, because I knew.
Because you knew they were going to make it.
Yeah, I knew we were going to have a good chance of doing that.
And the thing that's nice about Oregon is like you don't have to win your New Mexico. You probably have to win your conference tournament.
You have to.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean,
every once in a while they probably get 2 teams in from that league.
Rarely, yeah.
Rarely, but I mean some of those teams sometimes might squeak into the top 25.
Yeah, exactly.
So then they might get that team, and if there's an upset in the conference tournament,
Yeah. But no, I think I would. Obviously, if I knew COVID, I would probably have stayed in New Mexico just to finish it out there, my 5 years with the fans and coaching staff and players and whatnot.
Yeah, but I think the biggest thing is just, I'm sure you have no regrets.
No.
Like, neither do I. Like, cause I never made the NCAA tournament either. So that's one thing we have in common.
Yeah.
But like, I went to UCM, and it's like, okay, maybe I could have waited out. Like I know like Northwest Missouri State, who's like they're the 1 seed right now too in their region again. But they've won 4 out of the last 5 natties. Yeah. And they won 1 while I was there. Mm-hmm. They won 2 while I was there.
Oh yeah.
2 while I was there, and they were both undefeated national championships. Uh-huh. And so it was like they wanted me to come on a visit, but they hadn't offered yet. But like they came in hella late, and so I always ask myself like, bro, what if I would have, like, even though they came in late, so I like, but I'm kind of the same way as you. Like, you know how you were petty towards Oregon. It's like all these schools who hit me up like randomly, like super late. I was like, man, like y'all been watching me for 3 years. Like if y'all all of a sudden decide you want me, like y'all really don't want me. I was your 10th option or whatever,
Yeah.
So I just kind of like didn't go. But I always wonder like, damn, maybe if I would have went on that visit, I would have liked it. Like could have saw the future. Like could have got a natty out of it or something.
Exactly. But I mean, if I did go out of high school to Oregon, they had Tyler Dorsey already. They had so many deep guards.
They had guys. Yeah.
So it was like they probably wouldn't have been.
Tyler Dorsey, Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, they had a lot of. I can't remember.
They had a squad though. Did you play with Bell? What's his name?
Jordan Bell?
Yeah.
No, he was the year.
The year before you?
Yeah.
That was the team that made it far in the tournament, right?
They made the final
4 or Elite 8?
Or Elite 8, one of the two. They lost to North Carolina, I think.
And then who returned on that team to your grad year?
To my team? Just Peyton.
Just Peyton?
Peyton.
But Peyton went crazy his senior year, or his last year, right?
Oh, yeah, crazy. He was...
Because all them guys kind of left, and then it was like...
It was Peyton and Will Richardson, that was it.
Richardson.
He's still there. He's a lefty, a little light skin.
Oh, he's still there?
Yeah, because he had COVID.
COVID year?
Yeah.
Bro, this COVID year is crazy. Hey, we talked about this a little bit the other day.
Yeah.
Bro, what you think about this COVID year and some of these dudes getting like 5 full seasons basically, bro? Like,
I mean, it adds a whole year, which is what, 30-something games.
Yeah,
so
like this dude from Detroit Mercy that's like 4 points away from the record, Pete Maravich's record.
If you play from a freshman to your COVID senior year, like that's 30 games.
I can't lie though. I kind of wish I had it.
I wish I did too. I wish I did.
Hey, imagine if since like that, because they hadn't decided yet. I think they did it kind of more so because that next year a lot of games got canceled. Mm-hmm. You know, but like I guess they were like, hey, y'all got a full season and it just got canceled in playoffs, so like we're not gonna give you a year. But imagine they would have came out and been like, would you have gone back for a 6th year? You think?
No. I was so over it. I was so over school. I just wanted to, start making money.
Did you finish your master's in 1 year though?
Prevention science.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, it's not.
This boy educated now. This boy educated.
Yeah, right. It's one of the ones that they just throw at athletes and it's like, here, you got to do something.
Like communications.
Yeah, exactly.
Every athlete's a communicator. Or sports management like me.
It's the same thing, but I got my degree in criminology, so I can use that some way when I'm done hooping, hopefully.
I mean, you got a master's degree, so just the fact that you have it will be good.
Yeah.
I think it's important. Like, I don't know. I always felt like I don't know if this is true. So, mom and dad, if you watch this, I'm not trying to disrespect you in any way. But like, I always felt like I had to get like a scholarship to go to college.
Oh yeah, I did too, for sure.
Like, I felt like it was that way, or like I'm guaranteed my parents would have made it work, but like I don't think they had anything set aside for me. You know what I mean?
But like I knew that from the jump. Like it's either I was getting a scholarship or I probably wasn't. Going to play college basketball.
But not going to college to like get a degree wasn't even an option. Like even if I wasn't gonna play ball or something.
I mean, I probably would have to take out a loan or something.
For sure would have to take out a loan.
Something like that, yeah.
But like some people, like that like they know their parents will like pay for it even if they don't.
Yeah.
So it's like a different little hustle probably.
I was not one of those. I was not.
Hey, but I wanted that full ride so bad too because my parents told me and my brother when we were like young, like if y'all get a full ride to college, like we'll get you a car.
That's a good deal.
Yo, so so my brother got a full academic scholarship because he got a 30 on his ACT, and he went to Lindenwood, and like whenever he got this like full scholarship, like it was a used car, but they got him like a new used Chrysler 200, and so then I saw that, and I was like, damn. And at the time, bro, like I had just got my license, because he's 2 years older than me.
Yeah.
Hey, so I was geeked because I thought I was gonna get the car that he had been driving, right?
Yeah.
Yo, hey, I'm at my boy's crib, chilling at my boy Zach's crib, and I knew my parents were like at the car lot looking at cars.
Yeah.
And I'm hyped. I'm like telling my boy like, yeah, bro, that's about to be mine, that shit like that. Yo, they call me like, yo, we drive out to this dealership. We're gonna trade in the Expedition to get Caleb's new car.
Yeah.
I was so sick, bro. I drove that thing out there so sad, turned it in, they traded it or whatever, but then my mom let me use her car every day, so like she carpooled with somebody to work, so it was straight because, I got like to drive her whip anyway, yo, bro, whenever I got the new car though, when I got the Scally, man, that was a good feeling, bro. A lot of hard work coming to fruition.
For sure.
What other sports did you play when you were a kid, any?
I played football until my sophomore year in high school, and then I just golfed with friends and stuff like that. Nothing serious.
Yeah, you're a golf guy. So have you been? So you told me to watch it, and a bunch of people told me to watch it. It was on my list, but you inspired me to binge Full Swing last week. Who's your favorite golfer on tour right now?
I don't know. I like Justin Thomas a lot.
I think this Full Swing made me like him a little more.
That's what I said.
You can just tell it means a lot to him.
Yeah, because he's Jordan Spieth's friend, and now everybody thinks Jordan Spieth. Like he was known for being Jordan.
He's like
Spieth's
second
friend.
fiddle a little bit.
Yeah. He was known.
And I'm an underdog, so I like that.
Exactly, I like him a lot. Who else? Who else did they show? Who else were they showing?
I think my favorite now after the show is probably Tony.
Yeah, obviously I like him a lot.
Family Guy, like somebody that like. I feel like he's somebody that you could like look at your kids and like be like, yo, yeah, y'all should.
Yeah.
Like this is like a role model,
Yeah, I like Brooks a lot too, but I've liked him before even. Even for a while.
He's kind of a dickhead though.
He kind of is though.
He's kind of a douchebag, but like, there's something. There's something a little bit admirable about him, just like not really giving a.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I like.
Not really caring.
He doesn't care about anybody else. He just wants to go in there and win, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But he comes off as kind of a dick for sure.
Yeah, he's about getting that money up. What do you think about Liv, bro? Like, so
I see both sides.
I see both sides of it, 100% too. So like, I have some friends who like really don't like it, and they think it's like, they're ruining it because blah 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 this that, and I'm like, bro, these dudes are like fighting to like get like win purses, like they have to perform.
Yeah.
If someone comes up to you and tells you,
guaranteed, here, take this.
Hey, you come play on Liv for guaranteed. It's $100 million. You're only usually making, let's say these dudes are only making like $5 million a year on tour or something. I mean, obviously you get endorsements and stuff too.
Yeah.
It's like, it's hard to say no.
Exactly. And who was the older guy? The guy that signed to Live?
Ian Poulter.
Yeah. So him, I get his situation because.
100%. Because he's kind of like not competitive
He's
anymore.
older. Yeah. He's not really winning. So it's like, why not take this? I'm like, I understand.
Yeah, and I understand him more than like, obviously he's made a shit ton of money playing golf. Mm-hmm. I understand him more than like Phil, because Phil's made like OD money, you know what I mean? Yeah. He's probably one of the wealthiest golfers. And he didn't really need to do that.
And Dustin
Johnson.
Justin Johnson, yeah. Him was the controversial child. I was kind of like,
because he's still competitive,
yeah.
But I think with him though, I think they probably threw stupid bread at someone like him though.
Stupid.
Because he's like a top 10 in the world type guy, So the bread that he got thrown at.
You see 200 M's?
Bro, did you see that they threw Tiger 700 mil though?
Yeah, it's insane.
I haven't even watched a live event though, but I probably
I haven't either. Are they on TV or?
They're on YouTube, I think. YouTube TV, maybe.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't know.
I don't know. They're somewhere, and maybe the CW, bro. Have you ever heard of that channel? The CW.
Oh yeah, I know.
They have some TV shows on there.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't watched a live event. Yeah, I think my favorite golfer, just because of the show now, which I already kind of liked him, is probably Tony.
Yeah.
Tony Finau.
Mm-hmm.
He just seems like a great
good
guy.
family dude. Yeah, great.
Good family dude, and like someone that you can root for.
Exactly.
And like feel good about rooting for him, you know.
Exactly.
And like obviously we all love Tiger.
Yeah.
But I mean, who doesn't love Tiger?
Exactly.
But you got anything else? Got anything else you wanna go over? Anything else you wanna talk about?
That's it, man.
Any shout outs you wanna make? But before that, I got one more segment because we talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a quick draft if you don't mind.
Yes.
Okay.
I like when you do this.
We're gonna draft. So.
But don't make it some crazy stuff.
No, it's not crazy. It's crazy. Because we were literally just kind of debating this the other day,
Yeah.
me and you in the Bolt. I think we were talking about it.
Yeah.
We were talking about the greatest shooters of all time
Okay.
in the NBA. So that's what the draft's gonna be. It's gonna be 5 picks. So here's how it's gonna work. Obviously, the guest always gets to pick first.
Okay.
But then the way that we do it when it's a 2-man, you'll get to pick first, and then I'll get 2 picks.
Yeah.
But then it'll just alternate after that.
Okay.
Okay. So if you're ready, if you gotta think about it, we can pause this.
Give me. No, I'm ready. My first is Steph.
I mean, that's
obviously.
I mean, that's an easy pick.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the first regardless.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm gonna go with who's the second best shooter of all time, because everybody knows Steph's the best shooter of all time.
Yeah.
I think I'll just go with both of them because I got 2 in a row. I'll go with Reggie Miller and Ray Allen.
That's tough.
I think that's right.
My second is kind of a sleeper, but I mean, if you really watch basketball, he's not a sleeper. Kyle Korver.
Yeah, you mentioned him the other day. You were mad that he wasn't in that.
I'm
draft
like,
pick.
how, like.
I was wondering if you were gonna take him.
Yeah, for sure.
He's
We're
probably
just
the best.
strictly shooting.
I think he's the best spot up shooter probably ever.
Yeah, we're just talking strictly shooting, not anything else. Just.
But not also just spot up, but like coming off picks and stuff too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like he's like.
Yeah, for sure.
People say it was hell guarding someone like him and like JJ because he had to run off so many picks and stuff.
Sure. Are we doing by position as well too, or just?
No, just best shooters, best shooters in the NBA all time.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. Just draft a starting 5 based on best shooters.
Yeah.
I think for my pick, I'll go Clay. I'll go the other half of the Splash Brothers.
That was gonna be my next one too.
Just because I think his ability to like heat up in a hurry is just crazy.
I'm gonna have to take my boy Dame Miller for sure.
I was wondering if Dame was gonna get on this list.
Absolutely.
I figured he had to eventually. I'm gonna go with, for my 4th pick, I'm gonna go with somebody who's shot mid-range and 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Larry Bird.
For sure.
I gotta go with Larry.
Oh man. Oh, sleeper, JJ Redick.
Ooh, I just mentioned him too.
Strap.
Man, for the 5th pick though, I don't even know who to pick, bro. For real.
There's a lot more still. I feel like.
There's a lot of good shooters, bro. You know, I'm thinking of somebody right now who they say like he never missed left or right. Peja Stojakovic, bro.
He is strapped.
They said that he like I saw a thing once on YouTube or something, and they were saying like out of like 90-something% of his misses, they're only like short and long.
No, he's. Bro.
Like, they were saying like he rarely ever missed left or right. So I'll go. And I know I'm probably forgetting somebody, but
I know I'm forgetting somebody too.
I'll go
but
Peja.
this is just because I'm thinking of a center, like a big man as a shooter. I'm going Dirk.
Oh,
Dirk.
50, 40, 90 guy.
Big for sure.
He's by far the best shooting big man ever.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know who's actually a crazy good shooting big man nowadays that doesn't really get as much hype just because he's kind of...
Embiid?
No. Towns, bro.
Oh, yeah.
He's like a 40% for his career guy, I think.
He's slept on for sure, too. But the Timberwolves are doing good this year, aren't they?
I think they're like in the play-in right now.
Yeah.
They just beat the Lakers the other day, and it was like it was like they were right there in the seedings and stuff.
Yeah.
But man, so Anthony had Steph, Kyle Korver, Dame, JJ, and Dirk, and I had Reggie, Ray Allen, Klay Thompson, Larry Bird, and Peja Stojakovic.
Some shooters right there.
I think we line them up and we do a 3-point contest. I think my squad wins, but. You know, we'll leave it up. We'll leave it up.
Yeah.
We'll leave it up to y'all.
Yeah,
we'll make the edit.
For
We'll
sure.
put it out.
For sure.
Last thing I want to ask you before we get into this Last of Us episode 8 we're about to watch. Last thing I want to ask is, what's one of the best things? Like me and my brother always say this, like at the end. What's one of the best shows, podcasts, or whatever that you've been watching lately that you would recommend to people?
Obviously, I see people watch, like, they want to learn about knowledge and stuff, but I like watching the fun and, like, out.
No, yeah.
So
no.
I like the Nelk Boys a lot.
Oh, the Nelk Boys,
I
huh?
watch a lot of
I never
them.
watched their pod. It's good.
You know who they are?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. They have the guests they have are elite. Like, they have Polo. They had Elon Musk. Like, the
I
guests.
saw they had Elon.
The guests they have are elite, so it's cool, and they're just known for partying, like going out and having fun. So it's like
I saw like they even had OJ on, and they actually asked him like a couple like tough questions.
They
because
do.
people are mad at them for having him on. Yeah.
They asked like the controversial questions, like they asked Tory Lanez about the whole Meg Thee Stallion.
Oh,
stuff.
really?
And like Tory Lanez was like, "Do not ask any questions about that. First thing to ask is that." And he's like, "All right, I'm out. I'm leaving."
Did he actually leave?
He did leave. Yeah.
Bro, I need to watch that though because I saw Kyle. What's his name? Kyle something.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what his last name is. But like kind of like the main guy from Nelk Boys. I saw him on Theo Von's podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, he was talking about the Elon Musk one. He was talking about the OJ one, and they were like, "Yeah, don't say anything about like the killing." And they were like, "We have to ask." They asked him
exactly.
and they said like OJ looked pissed or something.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I have to watch their podcast someday.
Yeah, they're good.
I think the best thing I've watched recently, man, I watched Full Swing, which was great. Outer Banks season 3, which was great.
Yeah.
Outer Banks season 3 was a little too much though.
That. Breaking Bad, you've seen Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Must.
I haven't watched it. I
That's my
haven't
number
finished
one.
it. I never finished it.
That's my number one.
That's your number one show ever.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know what my number show is. You know what's one of my favorites actually? Orange is the New Black.
Oh, I used to love that show.
I love that show, man. That's such a good show.
Yeah, it is.
If you can get past like the first like 30 seconds of the first episode, I know a lot of people hate that.
Out.
Yeah.
Peaky Blinders. What else? I think Last of Us is up there for me too.
Bro, Last of Us so far has been great. I can't wait to watch this episode.
Yeah, I know.
Because everybody's saying on Twitter it's
I'm excited.
It's legit.
I'm geeked.
But anyway, this is Anthony Mathis. Anthony, we appreciate you coming on. You know, it has been my pleasure to get to know you, be teammates with you.
For sure.
I'm for sure glad that you decided to come here.
Yeah.
So even though the Swedish boys might be a little upset, I'm happy you joined the squad, man. It's been a great addition to the team, great addition to my life, just hanging out, being friends. So I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Yes, sir.
We'll see y'all later. Peace.
Peace.